Yay! First time live on YouTube. I have no idea how this works. All I know is I'm going to try this instead, because I was on Facebook for a while and I was getting nowhere. Lonely. Feeling lonely. Nobody wanted to watch and talk to me. I felt lonely. So we're trying this. And I've kind of already screwed it up. I don't know how I did that. Of course, then again, I really don't know what the hell I'm doing in the first place. So, hey, it's pretty good. Since I'm lacking in knowledge anyhow. If anybody's commenting, I can't tell. I don't know. Oh, hey, whoa, bam! And like that, it pops up. That's really hard to read from here because it's tiny. And it goes away. Well, that's not fair. Why does it go away? I can't read your comments like that if it goes away. There we go. Show live chat. Yay! Alright, I've already figured something out. Props. So drink this next to my glitter. You guys ever use glitter? Get this stuff in a box with glue. Don't get the glitter glue and save yourself $1 because this shit sucks. It's no fun. There it goes. What are you making? Yes, I will hopefully be an Endwar. And what am I making? I am making little dudes. And zombie head people. Yeah, I just kind of figured it out. Little zombie head people. They look a lot better when they're painted because it's not all staunched and white. It's kind of hard to see. But they turn out like this after you get done with them. Funny you should ask. When I get them finished, I'm actually going to be selling them. I got a bag full of them. Well, not a bag full of them. A bag full of blanks. Anybody guess what this actually is? Well, that's actually cool. See, this is how they create themselves. You can already see the face that's there. The eyes closed. There's a teeth right across the bottom. Anybody guess what these things used to be before? Huh? Anybody? There you go. These are, it's spray foam in a can. That's all it was. I got kind of mess around one night when I was working on stuff before, and I made the other one up there. I got a bunch of them before, but they didn't turn out as well. And I just sprayed a bunch of foam in a can because once you start spraying the spray foam, you can't get it to stop. Well, they will be for sale as soon as I get them done. I have to rubberize them and then give them a quick paint over. I've been selling my little bloody chainsaws in a Pickle Rick's. I've been doing. Oh, it's just cheap paint. Was that a far shot you asked about? For some reason, the things still don't stay on my screen. There we go. Well, you contact me through the messenger or on Facebook, and we can talk about working on a far shot for you. However, I am kind of overloaded. These are a break of things. I have projects I should be working on today, but I'm out of funds. So that's the whole point behind making these is to make funds for the Endwar blasters that I should have had ready for Endwar to begin with. And I did my promotion at the last minute, the giveaway, and decided That it was going to be a good idea, but it turned out to be a bad idea because I wasn't ready for it, and people are still waiting for their blasters. I should have had them done months ago, but I'm lazy, so I didn't. No, me and my sister are actually talking about doing an Etsy. She does these really neat, they're called Tree of Life. I guess it's a new hipster necklace thing. It's, you take a stone and you wind around it some copper wire, and it makes this tree. And the first couple ones were cool, but the next couple ones were getting better. And now the last one she did was freaking amazing, and she gave me one, and I love it. I'd actually go get it, but it's sitting out in my living room, and frankly, I'm not getting out of my nice warm shop because it's a nice warm shop. It's cold out there. Really cold out there because it's easy to heat a small room than anything else. Yeah, well, actually, that's part of another thing I've been working on too, is selling pistol mods. I have a buddy of mine who has a great supply of thrifted stuff. You might know him. His name is Beaker. Beaker is my buddy. But he's stopped thrifting Nerf and started focusing on his gaming channel, which I should seriously think you should check out. It's BKR Gaming. BKR Gaming. I'm on it once in a while, usually making fun of him playing Earthworm Jim because he's very bad at it, and it's fun to rip into him doing such things. And, you know, I sit there and just crack off a lot of really bad jokes. And I don't have to worry about it because I'm just emceeing, which is awesome. Oh, look, somebody uploaded something and blocked my screen. That's cool. You completely blocked my screen. Thank you, Rob from Thunderdome. My notification thing worked against me. Big surprise. Yes, yes, yes. Etsy is something in my future. Most definitely is. But I need to get a hold of Beaker and get finalized to grabbing a bunch of his blasters that he has laying around in his house, so I can make pistols and easy ones like that, because I don't want to spend a lot of time making them, and I don't want to spend a lot of money making them, because then that jacks the price way up, and I honestly really kind of always feel bad about charging for my stuff, unless I'm like desperate for money or something, but I always end up undercharging because I see, I remember when I was a kid and I wanted stuff, how hard it was to get money. I used to spend hours mowing lawns and toiling in the, our garden and stuff like that for the allowance that I had gotten, the allowance I got, which, you know, back then wasn't a lot, because honestly, I think everybody gets paid a bigger allowance than I ever did. I think mine was roughly $5 a week, maybe. And that's if I did everything. And that's not just chores, that's everything. Because we worked. You know, if we needed something done, our allowance was the leverage to get stuff taken care of. And I learned that money is something it's hard to come by and worthwhile getting. Because it's tough to keep and save and get when you're a kid. It's also kind of inverted itself into buying that when I want something now, I just kind of buy it, even though if I can't afford it, which is bad. But anyways, I have a hard time charging stuff, because I remember being a kid and just thinking, everybody, just these poor kids wanted money and they want something, and I hate to see you guys spend hundreds of dollars on blasters from other people, and then you get it and it's you still got to buy the lipo and everything else that goes with it. And, I'm not, and for anybody who says anything, no, I'm not banging anybody's work. I'm not faulting anybody for charging anything. I'm just saying my moral dilemma wins out a lot over my actual walletary needs. And I do believe people should get paid for their work, especially if you do things like tattoos. Yes, a great way to get paid for your artwork every single time. However, that didn't pan out either. So, I keep missing notifications, I'm thinking. I can't tell if this thing... There. For some reason, they don't stay on. There we go. If I had an actual camera and an actual... Yeah, camera. Instead of using my phone, this might be a little different. It's one of those things I have to get a hold of yet. What's up, Mr. Donald? You gotta be at the war on the 19th. If you are, you gotta bring some food. Not just for me to eat, but they're doing a canned food drive thing. So I plan on picking up some stuff and bringing it in. More than just, cream of wheat. Or cream of mushroom, because people don't eat cream of mushroom. If you're poor, people eat cream of mushroom. Everybody gets cream of mushroom and puts it in there. It's only good for casseroles, but I happen to like cream of mushroom. I'm burping. There. Okay. I'll show you what you guys got so far here. Little tiki head coming in place. I keep using the not sharp end. I have to use the sharp end. Sharp end cuts. Flat end does not cut. Cheese dip. Oh my god, that sounds really good. First off, cheese dip. Yeah, winner. Secondly, cream of mushroom and cheese dip. Yeah, I think I'm going to try that. I got a recipe for pork chops too that I do a bunch of weird stuff in. Some of them are Asian flavors because I grew up eating a lot of stir fry. My parents like that, so they shopped at Asian stores. So I got a lot of I have like one thing of mustard that's yellow mustard, and then just a ton of bizarre things like bean pastes and curds and the deliciousness that is oyster sauce and things like that. Just weird toppings and things that go in things that you don't normally find anywhere because we don't eat those things as Americans. But it's available to us. Because you go to like Asian marts and get them. And for anybody who says anything, yes, the giant store I buy from is called Asia Mart. It says it right on the outside of the building. So, no. Messing around with my sharp stuff again. So you're at chat me. Yes, well, I'm reading the chats as best as I can. They don't stay up on your phone. I think that's a damn it, I'm going to cut my finger. I keep grabbing that end. I need this end forward. I have a bunch of these, but they don't work as well because they're all dull. So I have to get new ones. Yes, I try to read the chat stuff as much as possible, but like I said, it keeps disappearing on me, and I'm not sure how to get it to set up. I hit the button for it to have it on, but it doesn't stay on. So I think it's a YouTube design. If I had a camera, an actual camera, this would be different, which is one of the things I'm hoping for Christmas. I'm going to beg and plead for a camera, because last couple of years ago I pleaded for a camera, and I got my other one, but I need a webcam. Ha ha! Fuzzy! Oh, I missed your broadcast, Fuzzy. I assumed you got busy because you said you were working long hours. So, yeah, I assume that's what it was. I don't think I missed one yet. No, that you had. But I think I might have missed one. Yeah, that's what I thought. Life gets in the way of all the fun stuff. I should do these eyes rounded while I'm thinking about it. With my lighter. You take the burrs off the fuzzy things so I can see what the hell I'm doing. The problem is I haven't really learned how to control it, so I kind of do things like cook it. I didn't want to, but then I can get better results. He's got eyebrows. Oh, well, no. No, not that fuzzy. No, I won't burn that fuzzy. I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare burn that fuzzy. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no. That's a long trip to go and burn you. I don't have that kind of gas money. So, it's not going to happen. Don't worry. I don't burn things. Well, live things. When I was young, I used to hunt down animals and kill them and pull their insides out and wear them as hats. But, hey, we'll do our hobbies. Mother is calling. Let's see if I can make these eyes rounded. It'll be less work if I have to by doing more work to make them rounded. Oh, my phone's making noises. Oh, it's another notification. Yay. Screwing up my live feed. Oh, I went a little deep on that one. Okay. Actually, it looks okay. What was that? I think it was... Oh my god. Favorite zombie movie? See, I love really bad movies. So, movies like Wolf Cop. God, I love Wolf Cop. Wolf Cop was great. I do enjoy a lot of the zombie movies made by Dimension Films. I'm pretty sure you may have seen some of them. They did one where zombie, and it starts out with Sid Haig, the guy that played Captain Spaulding. And he gets bit in the back of the head. They do a ton of zombie movies. Oh my god, I'm trying to think. There's one I know that stands out in my head that I thought was really good. And no, it's not that stupid Warm Bodies. I mean, they really... Ugh. Yeah, did stupid zombies with that one. Thank you very much. Didn't like that. What the heck was it, though? Oh, man. I'd say Evil Dead, but they're not really zombies. They're possessed people. And the dead, they're all possessions, essentially, or some sort of demonic possession. So it's not really zombie. I do like the original of the Dead series, the old black and white ones in that. Those were really neat for what they were. Yeah, the new George Romero ones were really cool too. With Ving Rhames and John Leguizamo, who I thought killed the role that he was in that. He did very good. I'm not the biggest fan of John Leguizamo. There was a movie he did called The Pest, which is pretty much, I think, the most god-awful movie ever created. There's an eyeball. He's coming into shape now. I can't really... Resident Evils were pretty cool. However, I only liked the first one or two. I really got sick of them trying to become the Matrix. We had the Matrix, which I also heard that they're rebooting as well, speaking of reboots. And I don't know why, because unless they're going to reboot the first movie 3 times and just add the weird blonde guys, they'd be pretty good. Because Matrix kind of slid downhill fast after the second movie. Actually, after the first movie. They just decided to do as much as they possibly could CG, I guess. I wasn't real happy with it. And I only watched the third one when it came out on DVD because a buddy had it. I wasn't paying for it after I paid to watch the second one and was mad that I had to pay for that. Because that was disappointing. All kinds of disappointing. Especially because, you know, it ends Firefly style. I'm a leaf on the wind. Well, you know, you're more like an olive in a martini glass. Maybe. Still got me thinking about zombie movies, though. Now I can't think of my favorite zombie movie. It's on a lot, and I keep watching it. I'm really stoked for the Spawn reboot. I was a big fan of the first movie. I thought it was pretty cool. You know, I'm a big fan of the Spawn movie being that what it was. I mean, personally, I'm a comic book reader, and I read Spawn. Zombieland was funny. I also think it was overrated. I don't think people, I don't think it was as good as people said it was. I think it was just one of those movies that came out that was perfectly timed and was done well, but it was also, I believe, overrated. But they hadn't had anything like that. There's a movie called The Ruins. It's probably my all-time favorite horror movie. Because it came out, and there wasn't anything like it when it came out. Now, there's some older movies that are like that. They're black and white things and other stuff that in the 70s, which I think you guys should really check out some of the old school horror movies. Or simply go to Vargas Vault or look up Professor Macabro on YouTube and check out some of his stuff that he reviews, because dude's got good taste in horror movies. Yeah. Any movie with Bill Murray is something I will watch. So, yeah, I have no problem with the fact that Bill Murray was in that. I absolutely love Bill Murray. He is hilarious. Although, I have to say, I did not see the new Ghostbusters. I heard he was in that. So, I'll just simply watch Bill Murray's part from that, and that'll be the end of my stuff for that. But as far as the Spawn reboot goes, I am stoked. McFarlane is going dark. The comic book gets dark a lot. Spawn is a very, very moody person, or demon, or whatever the heck he is. I'm cytoplasmic entity. He very moody, and for a lot of the stuff in the midways, it was dark and scary. And it'll be nice to see this go dark and scary, because it'll. No Violator? How could they not have the Violator? No, McFarlane. Violator is a pivotal part of Spawn's evolution into Spawn. He must be taking a completely different route. The Violator was the man. I love the Violator, man. The comic books. Not just because he's an evil little creepy clown guy, because he's like my version of the Hulk. Nobody thinks anything about him. And then all of a sudden, boom, he's a creature. I actually was the Violator once for Halloween. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I got to smoke a giant looking cigar thing I made as a prop, and people kept telling me it was a big something. Because apparently nobody in my school read Spawn comics. But then again, that's what happens when you're a nerd. People don't respond to that stuff. They just thought I was some little clown. Of course, they always did. That's a shame, no Violator. Violator is the boy, my man. Blackjack and hookers. Ah, yes, blackjack and hookers. Can never have enough blackjack and hookers. Or craps and strippers. Cool. It should be really cool then. I honestly haven't read or seen too much on it, because I started reading a lot of it, and I guarantee he's going to be there somewhere at the end. Even if he just pops in like Bruce Campbell at the end of the Evil Dead remake, is like groovy. He's like, like summer movie. I actually used to be able to name the brothers at one point. The Fabulous Frivolous Brothers or something. Violator holds the record in hell for his ripping the biggest hole in his victim, which was his dad. He ripped his hole in his dad. There's a whole Violator coming to terms life comic in the early days of Spawn that explains his entire thing of why he hates Spawn. I would like to probably maybe don the Violator costume again. I had fun with that. However, I have to shave to do it, and to do it right, because I won't kind of do it with a beard. I could, if I did, I'd shave the sides of my head or get a bald wig or something. So, current project is going to be Ram Man, because I'm short and stocky, and Ram Man will look good. This guy's turned out alright. He looks surprised. The problem, King of the Damned. Uh-oh. Ran out of fuzz water. Yeah, after my whole little health scare thing, I started giving up soda. Now, I still occasionally have one soda a day. If I have pocket change, but I keep pocket change away from me at work, because I tend to do stuff like that. So I got over it. I got over it by... I've done that before. I've gotten over it by using fuzz waters from Walmart. They're actually really good. 0 calories, 0 salt, all fuzzy waters, just tasty. Barbie is the what? Barbie is the Red Hood? Shit, I'm about to dress up Barbie dressing. I actually would like to get my hands on a couple of Barbie dolls for various nefarious reasons. There's ideas I have for some of them. I just really kind of want their heads. That's all I really need. It's just the Barbie doll heads. That's all I want. Just a bunch of the heads. I want to put them in a jar. So I can have a jar full of Barbie doll heads. Just sitting in my house. When people ask what it is, it's a jar full of Barbie doll heads. Because that's funny. I also want to get a bunch of doll babies and put them on my ceiling. I really hate doll babies. It's not quite a phobia, but I'm not the biggest fan of things like ceramic, backlash of drinking fuzz water, and ceramic dolls. I don't like ceramic dolls in the least bit. They are terrifying. They are creepy, and there is one too many movies made about that crap. There's nothing good about ceramic dolls. Nothing good. Nothing good. All they ever want to do is take your soul. People are like, oh, the Puppet Master me. Anyone remember those old McFarlane figures? I actually still have a lot of my oh, God. This chair in my butt. I actually have a lot of the McFarlane Spawn figures. I took Series 1 and 2 when the movie came out and sold it, which turned out to be good timing because everything kind of went down after the movie because fans were pissed at what they did to Spawn in the movie. But they didn't realize that McFarlane wrote the script up and off on the movie, so he was okay with it. Then he altered his comics to match it, which was still kind of bull, but okay. Like I said, though, his oh, okay, that's less weird. Yeah, I have quite a few of the dragons that he did, and quite a few of the spawns later. I think I still have an Overkill figure. I know I have the Western spawn. I kept buying figures for stuff for quite some time. No, 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 no. No, no, I'm not a governor. I'm a clown. I don't remember. I honestly never recognize him when I see him, because I'm used to seeing young McFarlane. So when I see Todd McFarlane, it doesn't click until he starts talking, because he has a very very unique way of talking about his stuff. He gets really ramped up like I do, because you can tell it's obviously extremely passionate about it, which is really cool. So I never really recognize him until he says something, and I don't remember the movie that well, although it's probably on TV like every week, and I know it's on Netflix right now. Oh, that's crap. Let's get that kind of face, and that has that kind of face, so maybe I can match it by doing something like this. Happens when you're talking, you don't pay attention, you screw something up. So I just kind of messed up the symmetry of the face, which is fine, because people's faces aren't extremely symmetrous either. Symmetry is actually when something is perfectly matching, people tend to look at it funny, because you're so used to looking at things that aren't symmetry that you can't deal with it normally. Oh, I just messed up inadvertently even more. Okay, yeah, that's got to do one of these jobs like this. I'll look up here in a minute, guys. This one requires a little concentration, so I can get the shape of the jawline in. Because I can't, there's no uncarving something. You cut it, that's it. And I gotta make sure I get something that matches, or close to matching, on this side. So give me a moment here. Oh, I can't look up. I gotta nail this. It won't look right at all. Gonna be a minute. Sorry, I'm really sorry. I just really need to get this. right so I don't screw it up. There we go. Okay. Trying to hit the symmetry on the sides of the faces, so when I paint it, it actually turns out looking like there's a cheekbone. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Let me see what was going on here. Ooh, really? A Dredd TV show. Or a Dredd movie. If it's Karl Urban being Dredd, oh, hell yeah. He ruled that role. I loved him in that. It's freaking great. He never takes off his damn helmet the entire time. He follows his own rules. Never take off your helmet. And he nailed. Oh, it was so. God, that was so cool. I love that movie. And it was violent as hell. That didn't hurt. That didn't hurt at all. Being really, really violent. It was definitely awesome. And a bonus. I'll have to give it that. There we go. Now I got the jaw separated. Got that cut in there pretty deep, though. I have to go in behind this and take some out. Yeah, I would love to check out that. I didn't even know that was a thing. No idea that was a thing. That's an awesome thing to happen. Oh my God. I'm surprised nobody of my friends bothered to tell me that. They all know how much I like the Dredd movie. I watch that when it's on TV all the time. I can't get enough of that. And even on TV, it's awesome, even though they cut a lot of crap out. God forbid we scar the children. Yeah, if Karl Urban picks that up, that'd be great. I guess they really just need someone to be able to do a Batman voice, though, really. I mean... Oh... Knowing when you're done. Harder than you think. I think this one's getting close to being finished. Give a little shape to the back of his head. Maybe I'll do one more because I'm enjoying this. I got 5 spots to hang stuff, so I can afford to do at least 3 at a time. Maybe 4. Looking a little Frankenstein-y too. That's kind of cool. Kind of want to put teeth on them. Let's see what that looks like by just tamping this. No, I'm not sure he needs teeth. Like this, maybe. Give him teeth, but also give him a gum line. Yeah, that'll work. Now, say ah, Tooth Man. Hey, Josh. Ha! I actually had an idea once for a blaster that was full of grossness. You guys want? Yeah, we all need more Beaker. He more or less retired out of the Nerfy stuff. Had a really bad incident with a very well-known Nerfer. Yes, homeschooling and saw me live. Great, yeah, that's going to help the influence. That's good. Random internet guy sends you stuff on occasion, knows your address, knows who you are, encourages you to talk, and now you're skipping school. Good, Josh. Thanks. Way to endear me to your parents. Yeah, what was I saying though? Oh yeah, Beaker had a very bad incident with a very well-known Nerfer. That's as far as I'll get into that. And it kind of soured him towards the whole Nerf community YouTubey thing. It's a damn shame. He still enjoys Nerf. He still likes playing Nerf. But he just really doesn't really care for the people in here anymore. Which is a shame. But if what had happened to me, what happened to him, I'd probably be pretty pissed off as well. And I wouldn't have handled it quite as cleanly. I guarantee it. I would have broke my... Yeah, dude, he finds all kinds of great stuff. He's just good at it. But, genetically modified Beaker. His, yeah, it didn't go well for him with that. He kind of got soured on the community stuff, which was a shame. But he found a new love doing, what is it? I'm a GMO. I like reactors. I actually had quite a few of them at one time. He has a really cool idea for a mod involving reactors. He just hasn't got around to doing it yet. And if he doesn't sooner or later, I'm going to totally steal the idea. Because it's funny as hell. As I live in Middletown, which is close to TMI. Which is not too much information. It's a place that has a historical event of radiation problems. Oh, he'll come back sooner or later. Maybe, maybe not. If he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And Beaker's my boy. So if he wants to not... Hello, Vargas! I was just talking about a friend of yours. The guy that helps pay the rent for your channel earlier. The professor, he talking about bad horror movies. Well, actually talking about zombie movies. The first thing I thought of was the interview, which was probably one of the funniest damn things. I don't think he shaves that much, Pete. I don't think it's going to be a problem. France! I spend a lot of time making fun of you. I know I made at least references on more to my one channel on more than once about France and Canada. I'm surprised anybody in those countries still watch me. Means you all have a great sense of humor. Oh, well, don't worry about it, Vargas. We're all good. Yes, my first YouTube live event. I'm not 100% sure on exactly how this worked. Oh, there. Okay. Nice, square, creepy little teeth. I think the nose needs a little bit more definition in it. So we're going to carve an edge to it. I spent a lot of time looking at the tiki masks that I have in my house. I actually have quite a few. People get me things, and then they tend to get me a bunch of the same thing every year for Christmas and that. So, like one year I got a bunch of tiki masks. Everybody bought me tiki masks. Then one year everybody got me a bunch of Buddha stuff, which was kind of insulting. My sister's like, I saw this Buddha statue and I thought of you. And I'm like, you thought of me, a fat little man. Great. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You're studying. I thought I was educating you. If it's high school biology or something along those natures, you could probably ask me a question. There's a good chance I would actually know what it is. Was the one subject in school I was actually really good at was biology. Not math so much. It wasn't so hot with that. That was a really abysmal subject for me. If I can make it do so, yes, I will post this on my channel. I'm not entirely sure exactly how that's going to work, though, because I haven't done this. Well, no biology yet? Oh, God. Go on a date, Josh. Wait, that's physiology. Or is that... Oh, well, that's dirty. Plug the pickle racks. Yes, I'll plug them again. Pickle rack available. I have 4 left. 4 left. They're $10 a pop. Shipped. Now, in case you're wondering why they are $10 a pop, it's because it cost me roughly $5 to make them, and then the envelopes and everything else to go with them. So I don't make a whole lot of money off of them. Just like my zombie chainsaws, they're also $10 a pop. The profit margin is roughly about $4 that goes on them, so there's not a lot to it. But that's the way it works when you do craft stuff. You either charge an exorbitant amount, oh, cool. You either do... Thank you, Pete. You experimented enough with this for me. I believe you will have more experience with this than I do, which is nice. Just have to go back and direct it to I guess a live file or somewhere other than whatever file I need to. I can do that in the editing. That software, that much I know I can do. What was I saying? Oh, I don't remember what I was saying. Something about Pickle Rick. Oh, I saw the word gonad. Fuzzy things. Oh my, there we go. Other fuzzy things. I don't know if gonad is a French word or not. A lot of our words are French. I figure if they're hard to spell... Oh, I know what a gonad is. I just didn't know if you wanted to know what it was in French, because I didn't take French in college. I didn't take French at all, actually. I took some Spanish and failed miserably. All I learned was, I think I got this right. Double fuzzy on the phone. I think it's, yo tengo bis con Julio. Yo necesito tepe por de boco de tonel. I think that's how you say, I am the great Cornholio. I need teepee for my bunghole. That's the only thing I remembered how to say in Spanish ever since I took Spanish. It was 2 years of culminations of work to figure that out, and I'm not sure if I remember it correctly. I do remember when she said to put an extra point question down. I wrote it down. My teacher said she laughed so goddamn hard she gave me 2 extra points. I'll take, because I think I ended up dropping Spanish too, because I couldn't communicate in the class because there was no English spoken. Not a language person. Yeah, I know the first word of that, Vargas. You obviously were not paying attention. Cyclotron to someone. Oh, Cyclotron. That's that ball thing. Yeah. I think Beaker found one of those. It's a weird toy. That's a weird thing. One of those great Nerf things. I forgot to sell the parts. Yeah. They did all kinds of really cool stuff back in the day with Nerf stuff like that. They had really neat ideas. Now it's all, people are like, oh, another Strife, another Strife, another Strife. You know what? It's our fault we have more Strife mods, more Strifes, and more reshells like that, simply because we keep buying them. We keep buying them. And as long as you keep buying them, they're going to keep giving you the same stuff. If we stop picking up the Strifes and the Desolators and the other things and put up the things like the Ravager, where they had something that was completely off the books, although it was awful, they'll start making things that are like that again. Start going off the cuff and making more interesting blasters and newer designs. I mean, seriously, that's where Boomco was awesome, because they did neat things. Their death was Vortex. Vortex was a great example of that. Neat things, but the ammo was a suffer. And to suffer the ammo, it was a bit of a shame. It wasn't really the best of ammo to use outdoors. At work and indoors, it was beautiful. Shotgun mod, pal. I like shotguns. I actually got a PAS sitting up there that I got from Prickly Nerf mods out of Philadelphia area. I got a PAS I got from him. A Ertl pump action shotgun. Sadly enough, around the same time that the guy that created the Ertl stuff died. It's sitting up there waiting for review after I fixed the trigger mechanism. The catch mechanism. It doesn't seem to be catching. He did tell me it wasn't catching right. So I wasn't surprised by that. I just need to open it up and have some fun with it to get to work, because I've been wanting a PAS forever. I saw one at a war and I really wished I would have bought it, and I've been hunting one down for a reasonable price, and I got it for a reasonable price. He's also actually selling stuff right now up on his thing. Oh yeah, the one Hasbro came around screwed up. Where the hell is... Oh, it's right there. My Mega Rough Cut. The Rough Cut 2X. I just blanked out the 4 on it. Yeah, the Boomco thing. I actually really like that. I'd like to see it converted over to Nerf, because I don't have a lot of Boomco darts laying around. But it's got the far shot internals like most of them do, so I've seen. And it's pump action, and it uses the high, and Boomco makes up for it with the smaller darts. They have a higher capacity. I'd actually like to get my hands on one. There is a Toys R Us in my area for the next week and a half. Mediator. Don't remember the Mediator. Is that the one that has that really cool stock that fits a blaster in it, or the front action, or the front pump thing on it? Because the front pump shotgun. Ah, cool. Yeah, you know what? And I'm kind of glad that they're doing that, because I'm not, like, once again, I'm not the biggest fan of the blaster. Like, but the parts, some of its parts are absurdly interesting to me, and I could really get away having some of those in my armory, which would be great. Having some of that stuff sit around. Because that's pretty much all this stuff ever really does is sit around. We all know that. Yes, the Mediator's front shotgun thing in particular interests me, and the stock does as well. Judge. Is that's the big shotgun one, right? The giant drum barrel thing. The Judge. I think that's what that is. Collectors, hoarders. I think we border more on hoarding than anything, Pete. Which is pretty much, ouch, damn it. I knew that was going to happen. Stab myself right in the cut. Of course. Yes. We are all hoarders. The Judge is cool. I'd like to get one someday. When they come down on sale, when I find one thrifting. I probably could find one at that damn Goodwill outlet place, but I'm never going back to that. Yeah, it is a massively horrid thing to stare at. I will give it that. And I am all for intimidation factor in blasters. Sound is cool. Look is better. Because sound revved at you is okay, but it doesn't register as fast as an actual thing staring you down the face. It's good to have it scare the crap out of people. I think Pete would probably agree to that. You play a lot of HVZ. You got to say that there is you just rev your blaster a lot of times. You can scare the daylights out of the zombies. Especially if they know what's on the other end of it. Or so I've heard. I mean, honestly, my end war experience didn't end well. It ended in more end instead of war. I will be going next year, hopefully. I have already started saving. I already have a plan to get there. And I already have a plan to do a better giveaway of stuff on site so I don't have to build it to send out. And I already know what I'm building because I can build them within a week a piece, and they don't require paint. But I'm not going to tell anybody just in case I don't make it. I find that children may have a lot of fear in them, but they don't run and hide. They tend to stay put. Makes it the worst because they become such willing targets, but then after you're done shooting them, they come back at you hard. Little kids are the worst at Nerf wars. Little kids are so awful at those. They don't really have the strength to aim the blaster up so that you can pull it up all the way and shoot you in the face or the nuts. All the time. All the time. Little kids. Pain in the butts. Nut shots. All day. Just cleaned up a bit. I think I'm going to do one more. I'm enjoying this live stream. This is kind of fun. Carving these things are fun too. I'm going to take a look through the bag. Yes. Actually, I went to, there was a quote that came out, a discussional quote that came out when we were talking, I was talking to, at the time, I think it was Langley, about going to APOC. And if you don't know, first off, you don't know who Langley is. He is one of the proprietary runners of Nerf Haven, the infamous Nerf Haven site that has gotten a lot of bad rap over the years due to moderators, but firstly, they can't police themselves all the time, and some of the guys on there, admittedly, are psychotically just ignorant. But they, it is, I guess, is what it is. Because back in the day, Facebook and stuff didn't exist. So, besides that, I warred, my NIC introduction to this was with Langley and the well-known Liberation Front. Pretty much the guys that were responsible for Nerf on this coast. How about your friend who packed the candy again? It was probably... Oh, I don't remember that. So that's the problem with being me. My memory is really shoddy. It works in spurts and registries. I'll probably remember it later, and then I can make a post of that if I remember it. But, so... After years of nerfing with these guys, a year or two nerfing with these guys, I finally decided I'm going to APOC, which is you have APOC on this coast, and then on California coast you have I want to say N-War. It's not. It's another version of APOC. It's something else. It's just a big NIC war. So I wear a mask when I nerf because. Yeah, I first, Nerf 4 I went to, I decided to paint up a mask. And I thought it'd be pretty cool. The second one ended up being NIC stuff, and I needed something to do. Fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, no, grandparents do not make good fuel. So, I'm trying to keep my head straight and not ever studying. Damn it. So we, and the APOC is held at a very popular public park, and you're not allowed to wear masks and things. So I got permission from the moderators of the war to wear a mask. And I thought it was simply because, I wear a mask when I nerf. And it wasn't. It was, I was talking to Griever about it, and Griever was like, yeah, Langley, me were talking about wearing a mask, about you wearing a mask and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I said I could wear a mask. Dinosaur ghosts. Oh my god. Okay. Fossil fuel. Yes. Oh my gosh. No, just their charred, cremated, and petrified, liquefied bodies. Cars run off dinosaur matrix fuel. So, it's because when you hold a blaster out, or you hold your arm out and you shoot at any person in the world, you're usually aiming at their chest. Except for me. My face is right where people put their arms straight out. So I tend to get shot in the face a lot. And it's why they were allowing me to wear a mask. Because I got shot in the face a lot. Which was really funny. Because even they realized what it was. Trying to determine which one of these is my next guy. They all have their little faces on them, or they're blank, and I kind of want to do one that's not going to make me think about where I'm going to have to put it. Oh, that's a neat idea. Maybe I'll do him. I haven't done one ever like that. Oh, 5'1". 5'1", if I'm wearing a decent pair of thick boots, I'm over 5'1". I'm not very tall. I'm actually, my circumference is actually pretty much as round as I am tall, because I also have a 65 or 67 inch waist, which is coming down dramatically and quickly because of health reasons, and I want to see my niece graduate college and graduate high school before I kick the bucket. At least that would be nice. I have a lot more candy that I bought that I have to give her on a daily basis. Oh, what am I working on? I am working on making Nerf targets to sell. They work good for BB guns. They don't hold up forever. Basically, you take what I've been doing is I take a beer can. Get back to that one in a second, Josh. Take a beer can and I fill it with spray foam. Good spray foam, not cheap stuff because it doesn't work. It's too open-celled. It just turns out really awful. So I take it and I fill it up and I peel it off, which is also how you slice your finger wide open. Because I'm not smart enough to wear gloves. And then you take it and you carve it into things like this. And this, which is an earlier one today. When you put it in there, it does these neat little waves and bubbles and things. And a lot of times it just lets you know exactly what there is. Now, some of these guys are a little cheap, like him with his tongue. And then when you're done with all these, you take them and you put rubberizer on them, like this. So they get good, hard, and rubbery. It's a Plastidip. And then you go back and paint them. And it takes quite a bit of rubberizer to do so, the Plastidip, because they soak it up because it's an open cell foam. So it tends to permeate, but it gets really, really freaking solid. I mean, you can hear the difference. These are gummy, pushy. This guy, he's tight, and this is what they turn into. When they get done with them, I get done painting them up, they end up looking with things like this. And they're actually really durable. They don't weigh a damn thing because they're just a big block of foam. And you can knock them around and shoot them around and stuff, and they're the size of a can because they are a can. So they're like the perfect size for Nerf targets. I built a bunch of them just because it was fun. I had a bunch of leftover great stuff, which is what I use. That spray foam, the great stuff, and it just kept coming out. Because once you spray it, you can't stop it. So it ends up, I ended up putting it in cans because I was just screwing around with it. And I wondered what I was going to do, so I peeled it off and I just looked over at it and I saw little faces in the waves and bubbles that it had formed inside the can, and that's what they turned into. I got 4 more sitting out on top of my stove. One's painted, my fridge. One's painted. I was spray paint. It ate away his face. The other 3 are untreated. They're still kind of early. This is probably the best one I've done so far. They get better once you paint them, but you really can't get the high detail in foam. There's a better foam that they make, but I'm not spending the money for that. Because when it cuts into my profit margin too, I never messed with it. So when I went to the cheap stuff, it failed. That's what I'm doing, though. And a long explanation of making things. God, this heater is drying my throat out. What did I do? Oh, here we go. Okay, Josh, you asked me my opinion of the hammer shot. I like it. I am a big fan. People go back and forth on the hammer shot versus strong arm versus, I guess, cyclone shock and things like that. But here's my theory. I catch a lot of guff at the Nerf Wars. I'll use that word because we are live. About using things like my, let's see. I'll go with this one. My singled XBZ Raider. Griever gave me this. It just looks freaking epic on top of there. He didn't give me the blaster. He gave me this. This is the expanded version of it. The one I call Bloody Hell. Inherent problems with doing so. One, do it for a prophecy. Get some a prophecy. What is a prophecy? Is that a new blaster? You have to explain that one to me. It's pretty XVZ. Oh. Okay. Well, this thing, back to my theories on that. I'll have to check that one out. I didn't hear of that blaster yet. It's a Nerf Retaliator with a shell. Oh! Oh! Yeah, oh my god, I'd love to get my hands on one of those. I'd love to get one, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't have that kind of patience and money to just build it. Well, from what I've seen, it should work just fine comparing with the NIC stuff. Uh, I want to get the Orca darts, though, because I'm hoping that I can try to move our Philadelphia group towards some NIC-style rounds where I can use things like this. Because, right back to what I was saying here. To answer Josh's question about them, I believe that the weapon and the person using it is the combination. I know guys that can use jolts that are fast as hell, and you can't touch them. And if you give them 2 jolts, they're terrors. They just start taking people out left and right because they're quick, they're fast, they're nimble, and they just run up on you and bam, you're done. And they have a reload, or they just pull jolts out of their pockets and throw them away as they're playing, which is insane. Like things like this, it's got inherent issues. It's a rear pump. It's a single loaded blaster. It only shoots one thing at a time. Yes. See? It only shoots one thing at a time, but it shoots further than anybody else's stuff, usually. So I sit and hold up the mid-ground, waiting for people to do their thing. I know my position. I know how I play. I know what I'm good to play with. I know my style of blaster. And I don't, I'm not a power forward. If I'm forward, if we're playing and we're forward, and I'm all the way up on your front, on you and your spawn point, your team has done something exceedingly wrong. So wrong, in fact, that it's not something you're probably going to come back from because you have failed something miserably. Because I am up in front of you. That doesn't happen ever. Ever, ever, ever. So when that happens, somebody is screwed up mega time. Monorail, Buzzbee, monorail. Oh God, I actually have one sitting back here. I really, I've been debating an idea for a video for that. Me and Griever did one, which was absolutely freaking hilarious. But I did experience some serious issues with that thing at a war. It turns out jamming is an issue, especially when you try to fix it in the field with a stick, and the stick breaks off. That doesn't help, because the darts tend to fold over from the inside of on the inside of that thing if you screw them up. Well, I screwed them up. I had darts folding over on the inside of that blaster. Maybe, I don't know. I think I do have a bunch of blooper stuff that I pulled out of my regular videos. The problem is when I tend to blooper by myself, I start doing things like spouting things that people shouldn't hear or say over YouTube because, yeah, very funny video. And my buddy Griever doing the monorail thing with me. He also said it was probably the stupidest thing he thinks he's ever done. He needs to do more stuff like that on his channel to be stupid. He wants to be respectful. He has no idea. Now yeah, my trailer park does the same thing, Vargas. But your water isn't safe to drink for people like me. Wow. I mean Americans. Right back to the original thing I was talking about. I was trying to saw with the wrong side again. I just start spouting horrible obscenities when I do my bloopers, so I can't put a lot of them up. As long as I was using stock darts, Mr. Orange logo thing, Aspis Singleton, close enough, Mr. Singleton. I was okay. I had a whole bunch of Kustarts. They had a little bleed over from the glue, which caused some feeding issues, but the main problem came down to them being tight. They weren't feeding down into the pusher mechanism, because the thing, it uses a trough that slides back and forth to hold the dart. And then the barrel of it is in the back. So you have your barrel, and then it drops, the dart comes out, and this little pusher thing shoves it down and holds it as it goes back. Well, this thing is a little tight, and this spring on this is a little weak. So I'm going to take mine and take one of the torsion springs I got laying around here and see if I can up the tension in the drop pusher arm that holds it in place, to see if that makes a difference. And then put a small brass nub in the back of the the actual barrel. I don't want to do a full brassing of the barrel because it's a little tight. I'm pretty sure if I did something other than 17/32, it would be fine. But I have a bunch of 17/32 nubs laying around, and I don't want to cut up my 9/16 that I have a hard time finding, because the 17/32 is easier to find at the hobby shop that I go to. The 9/16 is the one that seems to disappear all the time. I don't know what people use it in the RC world for, but apparently it's popular. Oh, lunch break. I was wondering about that. Yes, no, Fuzzy, I will see you later. Preferably on your next broadcast. Hint, hint. Get back to work on that. No, do what you need, man. Do what you need, man. We're all good here. Especially on this end. Stay fuzzy, too. Okay, I have to open the eye up on this thing because there's a fault in the foam. And it wasn't my fault this time. It just didn't do what I wanted it to do. There was a bubble. I'm working on a bent one. Little Bud Rick mine. We're trying to pump design. We jam 3 darts into the front one. Yeah, so I did mine, and I got mad at mine too. I actually see that I broke the shell trying to get it loose, and I just put 2 screws in it then. Josh, that is an excellent class. My teacher in high school, Mr. Batesel, his wife, Mrs. Batesel, was my kindergarten teacher. Mr. Batesel was one of the high school math teachers. He had a class that he designed that was life skills, how to balance a checkbook, how to do things like that. And they pulled it from the curriculum. And he, from what I understood, he has never really forgiven the school for doing such a egregious act of stupidity. Because people need to know things like how to sew. Oh, damn it. Come back. Compression, tension, and torsion springs. And it was... You guys can... Springery is a pain in the butt. All of us eventually wind up with a giant pile of springs that we have no idea what the hell to do with. Because God knows we can't throw out a spring. It might possibly fit in something somewhere. which would be awesome. And we don't want to undo that possible spring. Tech 6 springs. Everybody rips that damn blaster apart, and I actually really like the Tech 6. I thought it was a great blaster. Yes, people with survival skills will make it, and that's why I probably will not survive it out. I will most likely be one of the few people that managed to live through the initial wave of the apocalypse. But, into a hairdryer. Oh my God. You should so call that the, you should so call that the Princess Vespa mod. That would be awesome. Yeah, I will make it through the first couple of maybe year or so of the apocalypse. No, I have absolutely no skills that are worthwhile keeping around. And I'm fat and slow, so I'm pretty much not, pretty much a walking liability on the group. I bring moral support, but those people usually get eaten. In every horror movie I've ever seen, especially if they're flight attendants. They don't normally make it. They tend to get munched on pretty fast. So, yeah, the moral support people don't make it through. They get pretty good way about halfway through the movie. The Perminator. Dude, you should do it and find a way to make attachments so they have like those hair drying attachments and turn them in, turn those into like Nerf attachment front barrels for it. Just get the end strike thing and drop it inside, and then so you can put the barrels for attachments on it. Or make an underslung roller shooter. If you make that, I would so feature that on my channel, because that's right up the freaking alley of the stuff that I like that I dig. The mods that are out, that are not just out there, but inventively cool. And it's cool to see all the really neat paint jobs and things people come up with, and the, well, not so much hydro dipping, but I'd love to see. I don't think I even have getting K26. I got K25, I'm pretty sure of that. But I love to see the weird stuff and the things that people pulled together that were just interesting, because it's the neat out of the wall things that make this hobby worthwhile watching. Because I can only take so many strifes being Chris vectored and hydro dipped, and that gets really old to me after a while. Although they look pretty, I can't do it. It just gets too much. So these, yeah. Hydro dip, yeah, it's kind of boring, but it's quick, and there's a lot of really cool films to it, and I've seen some really, really nice hydro dip stuff. So I can never bash on it, and I know it's not necessarily easiest way to get around doing things too. It can be quite tricky to get into and do right. So yeah, if you hydro dip and you hydro dip well, more power to you, man. Keep going with it, because I'm never going to knock somebody's modding style. I don't know about a propane propulsion source. It sounds like a way to get hurt. Also sounds like something I should probably work on. A buddy of mine used to have an air gun that he used propane cylinders in because they were cheap. I would too, Vargas. I would very much like to. However, I am not the one to be able to do steampunk. If you want to see steampunk stuff and stuff along those natures, I would suggest my personal favorite steampunk individual would be, yeah, he does hydro dipping very well. Does it quite well. I would suggest Spencer Davis of Landgrave Customs for your steampunking needs. One of the people that I saw stuff when I was a young neffe and got me into doing this. Particularly his blaster Piece of 8 which is a Lanyard Rotator 8. He actually has some of his stuff up for sale right now, which made me very happy. Unfortunately, his piece of 8 was turned out to be a gift for a friend of his. So the one blaster in his entire repertoire that I would give parts of my soul and probably both of my scrotum for, I can't have. So I'm assuming you're tipped towards the steampunk and not ways to sell your scrotum, Vargas. There's other ways to get more money for it than giving it for Nerf guns, although I cannot think of a better way to alleviate yourself of something that just causes hassle when you trip and flush it or get it caught in the seat. Okay. Hey, biology lesson. So, you know what? No biology lesson. That's a... yeah, the Rotator 8. I actually own 2 of them now. It was one of the first ones that I bought. It's a Lanyard Rotator 8, or Lanyard Rotator 8X. I can't exactly remember what the hell it's called. You have to really piss me off for me to turn around and bash you for doing something like that. Yes, he does do a lot of stripes. However, that's his bread and butter, are stripes, and they're done well, and they're done clean, and they just look great. I mean, I can't do them at the level that he does them. I kind of wish I could. That would be great. I can't pull that kind of stuff off. There is a lot of them done, though. Oh. I only got a little bit of battery left, and my cord won't reach. So I'm just going to run this until my battery warning comes up even lower. Yeah, I do love looking at his blasters. He does very solid work. Although I am not impressed by a bunch of strifes, I'm still impressed by a bunch of... It's kind of hard to explain. I'm not... At no point ever am I ever saying am I ever railing on anybody's stuff, because there's no reason to ever knock on anybody's things. Even if it's a big wad of duct tape and coat hangers to make your pump mechanism and stuff, it might not be pretty, but it's your blaster. You made it and you owned it, so you put your heart and your soul into doing so. So it's really hard for me to do anything like that, and I really don't like bad mouthing anybody for anything. And believe me, there are plenty of Nerfers out there that I can't stand. Some people in this community really push my buttons with some of the stuff that they pull and some of the stuff that they say and the ways that they act and the stuff that they do. But I do not get into the politics. Yeah, what is nerfing like in France? You guys have the same ability to get your hands on the same kind of stuff we do? Because I know, like in Australia, they have issues with such things. Bop it! Pump it! Bop it! Oh my god! Yeah, that sounds like an awesome idea. Because God knows Bop It is the tool of the devil. That is such a demonic game. It's like OCD, crack for OCD. It's brutal. You should know. Nobody should ever play Bop It. Well, I just got another battery warning, so And it looks like this live stream was actually quite a success. I got to talk to so many people in France. I got to talk to France. I learned France doesn't hate me after all the fun I've made and jokes I've made at their expense. The ones they don't even know I did. Simon. Yeah, stop messing with Simon. Leave Simon alone. Leave Simon alone. Just leave it alone. Simon was an OCD miracle. And they don't need fidget spinners. Give your kid Simon a pair of freaking headphones and set him over there in the corner. They'll stop messing with stuff. That's what they did to us. If you want to be a real prick, give him perfection. Nobody ever has beaten the game perfection. It is an impossibility. They might as well call it impossibility, because you can't beat the game perfection. It's not. The timer could be set for days, and you're still gonna turn that stupid thing around. I hate that damn game. All it does is make you want to kill Parker Brothers people. You just get so mad about it. I'm going to have to click on your link to find out where that is. Send me a link on my Facebook, Paraxis, so I can do. Yeah, many a soul. I'm damn sure they put that in the gulag at some point, and they're like, you will play perfection? If you want to get the kid... Oh, my God. You know, I just see frickin' Topher, the Saw. Frickin' Saw. I want to play a game. He just wheels perfection out like this. And people just take the gun and shoot themselves because they're like, I'm dead. You know? Oh, my God. I should so make a Saw version of perfection. That would be awesome. Okay, battery's gonna die. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate you helping me make my first live stream actually awesome. Quick, shameless plug before my battery dies. These will be available as soon as I get off my butt and finish them. I'm gonna have a bunch of them. They'll be rubberized and sold. Yeah, I am too, Isaac, but my battery's gonna die, and I don't have a way to hook it up from where I am because the cord's not long enough. And then, thank you. And then I'm also selling a bunch of Pickle Ricks and zombie chainsaws. You can see them all on my Instagram, Clowny Nerf. Space Cowboy, yes. Awesome. They're all $10 a pop, shipped, because I need money because I'm poor and I need to keep doing this mod stuff, and I'm not doing a Patreon because I'm not doing a Patreon. Various reasons. Peace, love, and Nerf, guys. Clowny's watching. Cowboy Bebop. Flip-flop. And I'm going to go back to cutting my fingers with a razor blade some more. Peace, guys. Love you all.